Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Wagon Mac Podcast. I'm your host, David Franco. I've had a lot of questions this week, so I tried to pick the best ones for you guys, so let's just start right away. First question is from Brian Gage. I'm going to be purchasing a MacBook Pro sometime this week and is wondering if I should hold off until the new Core 2 Duo chips are put into the MacBook Pros. Will they be significantly faster than the ones now? September is the Paris Expo for Apple. We can expect new computers, either MacBook or MacBook Pro. Most likely the MacBook Pro would receive the update first. So yes, it will receive the Core 2 Duo chip eventually. If it's in September, nobody knows for sure except for Apple. But it has been predicted that we will see this upgrade next month. And will it be faster? Yes, it's said to provide a 20% increase in performance while using the same amount of power. So hopefully that helps you out. How hard is it to install RAM in the MacBook Pros? I bought an extra 512 megabyte and I was just wondering. It is very easy to install RAM in the MacBook Pro. Literally, you just take out the battery, take out a few screws, and the RAM slot is right there. You just clip it in place. Be sure to force it in though. Sometimes people don't put RAM in all the way. It may seem like you're forcing it too much, but just keep forcing until you get a little click or until it feels like snug in place. Just don't force it too hard though. But yes, it is very easy to install. You should be able to do it yourself. Oh, and also, somebody mentioned in the comments, do not get extra RAM from Apple. Apple overcharges for RAM. I suggest going to dealram.com, deal, DEALRAM.com. Put in your system's configuration and model, and it'll show the cheapest RAM places from all the websites out there. This includes Newegg, Crucial, all the good brands are there. So I hope that helps. Thank you, Brian Gage. Next question is from Clayton on MySpace. Hi David, my name is Clayton. I've been using Macs for a while, starting of course my computer lab at school, and I've been using PCs for about 10 years of my life, and I'm 13. Well, lately they have been irritating me out of my mind. So for my birthday, I want a MacBook 2 GHz, and I want to upgrade to 1 gig of RAM. On YouTube, I've seen some people running Half-Life 2 on their MacBook on high graphic details. I was wondering if there was a trick to do this, or if it is possible to actually do this. Yes, I've seen these videos you speak of. It is possible. Don't expect excellent performance though. I've watched these videos. I've seen a few hiccups here and there. Just make sure you have plenty of RAM. Keep in mind that the MacBook has integrated graphics, which is why it'll be a little jumpy sometimes. I've also heard of bugs where the game will lock up when trying to autosave, so also keep that in mind. So a short answer, yes, it will run, but with a few drawbacks. Also, I'm wondering if you have tried the MacBook and wonder if you like it. I trust your opinion. What do you think are some of the greatest features of the MacBook? Yes, I tried it at the Apple Store. Actually, several Apple Stores. I've played around with one. I love it. It's a very nice notebook. Trust me, if I could afford it, I would get one. Excuse that noise in the background, that's our clock. The greatest features, it has a great keyboard. The glossy screen is a pro to someone and a con to other people. I find it to be a beautiful screen, very bright, a nice resolution for that size notebook. It's very fast for what it is. The integrated graphics are more impressive than you think they would be. I want this Mac for high school. What do you think it would be good for wireless internet and of course word processing? Yes, it would be great for wireless internet. 13.3 inches is a not very light notebook, but it is a light notebook. Very, very portable. So, and of course word processing, yes, it's excellent for word processing. Microsoft Office will run, but keep in mind it's not native, so. There are also free alternatives out there, such as AbiWord. If you go to versiontracker.com, VERSION tracker.com, type in word processing, and you'll get a few free alternatives for the Mac. Some are better than others, so. I also suggest checking out Apple's Pages. That's part of the iWork suite. 30-day trial comes with every Mac, so that may help you. Also, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate it? Much help appreciated. Thanks, bro. Scale of 1 to 10, what would I rate it? I haven't used it enough to give it a full rating, but I would probably rate it an 8. The only reason I don't give it a perfect 10 is because the glossy screen, The glossy screen can give you a big reflection in, outside conditions. Or if a light's directly behind you, like say the light's like right around here, you'll see the light like it's a mirror. This doesn't bother some people, so it may be fine to you. I would get one. It doesn't bother me that much. And plus, I mostly use my notebooks inside, so. And so I hope that helps you. Thank you, Clayton. Next question is from Bobby. Hey, I just got done watching your podcast, and I was just wondering if you worked with any of the Final Cut HD products. I recently purchased an iMac G5 with Final Cut pre-installed, and was wondering if it was worth the $300, and if it is easy to pick up one. I have worked with other professional editing programs. Thanks for your help. Thank you for the question, Bobby. I have not officially used Final Cut HD products. I've used Final Cut Pro very briefly at an Apple store. I liked what I saw. It looked very complicated, but of course, these applications have a steep learning curve. However, you mentioned you have worked with other professional editing programs before, so the learning curve should be less steep for you since you're familiar with it. I plan to get Final Cut Express HD. I've heard that's a great application, especially for the price, only $300. It's very close to Final Cut Pro, I've heard, just with a few features missing. So if you can, go with Final Cut Express HD if you don't need all the Pro features that Final Cut Pro gives you. So I hope that helps. Thank you, Bobby. The fourth and final question is from John. I'm starting a media course in college which covers everything from radio broadcasting to film editing to photography and script writing. This means I will be using a lot of multimedia programs. I will also be doing things like graphic design, which is designing things like packing and posters. And while I don't know what software I will be using for that, probably Photoshop, I also want it to run without any problems. I will also be using MacBook for movies, music, and photos for leisure use. I'm thinking of buying the most basic version of the MacBook, 1.83 GHz, 512 RAM, 60GB hard drive. Do you think this MacBook will handle everything I need to do smoothly? If not, then please suggest any upgrades you might make. Okay, it seems like you want to do a lot with this MacBook. I already emailed you. You know the answer to this, but I will tell everyone else. A lot of people already know this. Photoshop is not native, so expect a few drawbacks in performance. But you mentioned in your reply to my email that you should be fine with the drawbacks that it gives you for now. So you can wait until March. You should be fine with the MacBook for now. You'll just get a few performance hits now and then. 512 RAM, definitely not. At least get 1 gig. But again, don't do this from Apple. Get a 1 gig stick, so then you can pair it with another gig stick later on, since it's dual shared memory. 60GB hard drive. I honestly don't think this is gonna be enough. That might be enough for you internally. I definitely suggest purchasing an external hard drive, since you're gonna be doing filmmaking. That takes up a lot of space. Trust me, I know. That takes up a lot of space very quickly. 60GB internal should be fine, maybe for starters, but definitely get an external drive for all that extra stuff like film editing and your music and photos. And you also ask, could you please tell me if Apple has fixed the problem such as randomly rebooting MacBooks yet, or do I still risk buying one of these faulty products? I checked Mac Rumors forums, week 30 machines and older, week 30 machines and newer are said to be okay, so I hope that helps. I haven't seen any more problems with the MacBook. Also, Apple just recently released a firmware update which fixes the MooBook. That's what we call it, the Moo. Downloading and installing this firmware update should fix your MooBook, people call it, and the Moo should be gone. Only drawback is your fans will always be on slightly, I believe. However, if your MacBook does not have this Moo problem, I do not suggest downloading this update, because if you do, you'll be stuck with your fans always on. So if your system's already okay, don't download this update. You know what to say. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Alright, that's it for today's episode. Well, this week's episode. I apologize for the slight delay you may have seen. I'm sorry I'm going so fast here. I only have 10 minutes with YouTube, and I tried to fit everything in very quickly. I would love to hear more questions. Please, I have not had any audio questions yet, voicemail. So if you can, send those in. It saves me a lot of time, but if not, that's okay. I don't mind reading these. And keep sending those questions. daviddefranco@gmail.com or myspace.com/insanelygreat. Thank you, and I will see you next week.